Hey everyone, Eric with Rocket H. In this video, I had a guy, he asked, can an old Peterbilt casting like this fit on a 379/89 frame? And I told him, I said, I've never messed with one. I have no idea. It likely could. Can it be a one-for-one swap? I don't think so, but you never know until you try. Can you do it? And I said, well, why don't you send it to me and I'll shoot a video and we'll all learn together. Ta-da! Okay, so right out of the gate, this is not going to be a one-for-one swap. I've already studied this frame a little bit. Does have turning, or the steer tires you can position. The undercarriage looks similar. It's not the same. Does have a hole for the sleeper, or a screw for the sleeper, and then a screw for the cab is underneath this transmission. Now, on a modern DCP frame with the 379/89, here's your hole for the sleeper, here's one for the cab, and then of course your hood pivots on these hinge points up front. We are not going to have any of that. This is all one solid piece of die cast. Actually, so I don't think it's going to be a big trick. It kind of looks like, I haven't measured it, but it looks like these frames are fairly close. So all of this should be a decent swap. The difference is just going to have to get a level on the frame. Remove this engine, it's not going to work. These parts may or may not be able to stay. I don't know that yet, but we'll find out. But the most important thing is it can be done. We just got to take our time, figure it out. So let's get started. First thing we're going to do is take out that screw right there. There's a pin right here and one here. The front one broke off. This one we were able to salvage, and it just slides in over there. And here is our screw that holds that on way up here. So there's actually two screws that I can see. Normally what I've experienced in the past is there'd be a screw right around in here someplace, but there's one right here underneath the suspension and another one way down in here that we'll have to get to in a minute. And then that screw holds this pan right here. And so if you did want to strip this all the way down, repaint it, whatever, you would take this screw out and then your interior comes out and then you have access to all those plastic pieces. Yeah, it's actually kind of slick. Not a bad idea. I think we are going to reuse this bumper. The bumper does feel like die cast, which is really awesome. Right, there we go. That's pretty cool. All right, we'll get this frame ready, and all we have to do is take this engine off. I'm going to come in here with a screwdriver, just gently pry that up. Some come off really easy, and some come off in pieces. We're ready to test fit the cab. Right out of the gate, you can see down here, this little piece of die cast that hooks into the other frame needs to come off. So we'll do that real quick. You can use a Dremel, or you could probably just come in here like I want to do and break it off. Oh my gosh, that does not happen very often where it fits quite that neat and tidy. And this peg right here that screws into the original frame, it's resting right there in that groove, and it's not in the way, it's not causing problems, which is amazing. And that sets really nicely over those fenders. I mean, the steer tires just work. That's awesome. We need to glue this cab to this frame. What I like to do typically is to put a piece of styrene plastic about the same height, or build this up to the same height so that everything is level in here. That way you have a nice surface down here you can glue to. Okay, I've cut a piece of 1 millimeter thick styrene and just set it in there. We're going to test fit it quick. I left a space up here for that spot of die cast. That way it's not in the way. And then the cab covers up the die cast, which is awfully nice. And I think we are ready to glue that in place. Before I do that though, I'm going to put a little bit of magic marker right there so we don't see the white, like so. And then I'm also going to come in here, put a little more magic marker, because we have this hole right here where the screw went to hold the original cab on. And that'll just cover up the white from being seen if you flip it over. Before I glue my cab down solid, I'm going to test fit my bumper, and these pegs here do not match the pegs on the frame, so I'm going to just remove these You can use a Dremel or you can break them off as you wish. And I think that's going to work fine. That's going to be okay. Now we're ready to glue the cab on. I'm going to actually run a bead of glue down the center of this so I know exactly where my glue is going. That looks really good, just right there. For this project, I'm not going to bother reusing any of the factory settings there. I'm sure they're not even going to line up, so it doesn't even matter. Just eyeballing it, I could see that hole is way too far back for this thing. So I'm not going to bother with that, but what we will do is take out this floor and just put a little dab of glue in there so we can be sure that it doesn't separate after it's on the cab. And I think too, before I put the sleeper on, I think I want to put these exhaust pipes on and make sure that those are going to fit okay with everything else we've got going on here. So just for fun, we're going to test fit these before we get committed. And that, surprisingly, is going to work. Look at that. That looks pretty cool. I think we're ready to glue those in place. Now you might be asking yourself, why are we putting the exhaust on ahead of the sleeper? Well, the sleeper actually is going to bump up against those exhaust pipes, and you can see right here between the sleeper and the cab, there's just the tiniest of gaps. And had I glued the sleeper to the cab as I earlier suggested, these pipes would not fit in these holes and wouldn't work out quite as well as it's about to. All I'm going to do for the sleeper, I'm going to put just a bead of glue right here on the frame rail. That will be enough to hold this together.